Hello, welcome to I'm Angry, Annoyed, Amused podcast. I'm with Mike. So next to me is Matt.
What's up?
Over there is Johnny.
Yep.
Across the table is the other Mike.
Hello.
Nice. Johnny, want to kick us off?
Yeah.
I don't know what.
What?
I don't know what you
I don't know
you
what-
suddenly had an
Yeah,
an
so
epiphany, didn't really
it's
explain
been
it.
questions. I've never been, and 99% of these things I talk about, I always bring up Leonora. I think we battle a lot about my life, so I have to bring her up, which is kind of messed up. So we fight a lot, and let me know. Oh, by the way, next time, and there's always a time where there's a gathering with this group and all the other people part of it. You guys need to bring up Trump to Leonora because I can't fight it alone.
No can do.
Nope.
I don't like defending Trump.
Not going to do it.
No, not about Trump. Just Republican. All right. Either way,
Conservative. I'll talk about like conservatism.
because
I'm not a big Trump guy.
That's fair. But anyway, so Leonora gets on my nerves so much about it with politics right now. Anyway, I haven't always been a big political person. Didn't really care. I just cared about whoever made my bank accounts grow, my stocks grow, all that shit. That's the only thing I care about, right? As I get older, I care a little more, and I pay attention a little more. You know, who watched the news when they were like 12? You know, now when you're 28, you care about the news more,
Sure.
right? So,
If you are 28.
right. So, my thing is, and I'm gonna let all you guys talk because you guys are much more into the world of political, much more into the news, much more about reading. And the thing I'm getting,
That was great.
There's actually read. So
Yeah,
why you, take
you
this
actually
part
read.
over.
And one of the things I have a problem with is, so you see all this stuff on the news. I watch all this stuff on TikTok, which I said is my news. And I have a hard time understanding what's bullshit, what's not. And if Trump is so effed up and he's so bad and he's all these bad things, horrible things, why isn't it like more expressed? And if the Democrats are all these horrible things, why isn't it more exposed? And I'm having a hard time understanding, like, I know if like you were my enemy, right? And I had all this shit on you, I'd expose you, right? These Democrats and Republicans seem they know all these bad things about each other, but they don't do anything. And I know probably in the bigger picture, it's all because they're playing games for us. But I want to talk about all that, if that makes sense, because I want to get
There's
to
a
the.
lot.
I'll actually defend Trump.
Wow.
I think you're wrong. Trump definitely everything you're saying. Why isn't it that expressed? It is. It is
Well,
that expressed.
Well, he expresses his in his
No,
weird Trump.
people
isn't-
I mean, against him. You're saying if he's that bad, why aren't people exposing, expressing?
I think
it
he's
more?
saying like
They
if Trump is
totally
legitimately
are.
Hitler,
Right.
how is he the president?
How is he the
Right,
president?
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that
You know?
basically to that question, kind of a simple answer. Half the country just doesn't think that he's Hitler.
Right.
Yeah, right. That's
You know?
But see,
That's
and
what
that's
it
And
the
then
other
the other
thing.
half doesn't
But
really.
that's
They
the
know
other
he's
thing.
there
not.
just happens
Well,
to
that's
be
the other
70
thing that I'm
million
saying.
people
You have your
don't
Republicans and your
believe it.
Democrats, and no matter whatever your Republican does, if you're a Republican, you support him. And the same thing with the Democrat. Where like I'm a person like, all right, if I'm that like I love Michael, although Mike, if he did something shitty, I'd be like, no, I don't want nothing to do with that. And I can't see that break away from political thing. They just see
Well,
the
people will
support.
argue about this, but my take on that is I don't think that really exists as much on the right. And like, I'm not like part of it. I'm not politically like active or anything. But like,
Right.
I'm on, whatever. I listen to stuff.
And
But like,
read.
I really do think you're allowed to say I don't believe in this part of like I don't not like Trump as a person. I don't know him. I wouldn't say that about anybody I don't know really. But like, I don't like a lot of the things he does politically, and I think some of them are bad, some of them are good.
Right.
I support the good things, and the bad things I say it's bad. Like any other president, I would say that's bad. I'm not going to go
And that's the
storm the
way-
Capitol about it.
That's
but like,
the way it's supposed to be.
And that's what
yeah,
I
no,
would
but
think.
this is the issue that I think, and I think it's predominantly on the left, and it's just going to get worse. Is the right thinks the left? I saw this. This is not mine. The right thinks the left are like normal, decent people with bad ideas. The left now and more are adopting this view of the right are bad people,
Right.
with bad ideas.
There you go.
Right.
Like they're to their core, they're bad people.
Right.
And that you can't really. And the issue, furthermore, about like this kind of you can't take one is like I think Republicans do have plenty of freedom to say I disagree with this last thing that happened. The issue is on the left. If you say that, you're now a bad person. So you can't do that.
Right.
Because you can't go.
that-
I'm liberal all the way. I believe in like free healthcare, all this stuff. But I just don't think that kids should get transgender surgery. If you say that in the wrong crowd,
Yeah.
they're like, no, you're just as bad as all the Republicans.
Exactly.
And it's like, I want free healthcare. I want all this good stuff. I agree with you guys.
don't want this
I just think like, wait till you're 18.
Exactly.
And they're like, nope, you're evil.
The left is
I
more.
agree
The
with
left
your
is more
first-
groupthink.
Yeah.
I disagree.
left is
That's the
more
thing. I
groupthink.
disagree with your first point
That
about
conservatives aren't.
this being this shifting view towards conservatives are bad people with bad ideas.
Okay.
I think that shift is happening. What I've noticed recently, actually, because I was on Twitter, in the left,
Twitter?
I will tell you, yes, I will tell you directly, because and at first I didn't understand how you didn't see it, but now I get it. In the left, I'll tell you personally, that's not true. There's a ton of infighting, a lot of it. A lot of people cannot. Liberals, like two people who you consider who are demonized on the left, who like you are describing as the left, who are like all the way, hate liberals, hate them.
It's like, what's a thing that would be a normal disagreement on the left that nobody's going, you're a bad person. They're just like,
I
we
would
have
say
different
I would
ideas.
say that exactly what you said about transgender surgery. Definitely, people on the left, the majority of them do not support trans rights. You've even said it before that you
the
think
majority.
that,
So then nobody supports trans rights.
right.
Where'd they get? So who supports it then? If the right,
So it's just the
the- if the right-
politicians
the
that are
right-
pushing
the
the
right
to-
certainly doesn't.
The right to exist
I don't know. I
as a
disagree.
transgender person, yes. But in
Okay,
terms of
who
like getting
thinks- who
surgery,
thinks they shouldn't exist.
like believe that they exist. There's people on the right that say that.
That they don't
No.
exist.
Like you're even having a bad. That's not. Nobody thinks that this person, when they say a transgender, they poof into nothingness.
No.
They just
no.
think you're not.
You're
a girl.
not right. You cannot exist as a transgender person.
Right. So if that's the line, like you're already starting at a thing that's like
No.
not
I'm saying
contentious.
generally. So generally speaking, that is a left. That's
Another
a left.
light
A left. View,
conversation.
right.
Yeah.
There are. I mean, I won't
We're
say.
gonna have to
Obviously, you
change
can't
them.
speak.
These two are going at it
Absolutely.
Right.
Right. But
You're saying the
generally,
left generally accepts
says
that the guy's a girl, girl's a guy.
right. You can be transgender. Right. In terms of like surgery under 18 or surgery at all, that is something that is fought in between parties of the left.
Okay.
Right. Obviously, there is a growing group of people since Bernie Sanders in 2016 who believe that we should abolish capitalism altogether. The majority of the left, specifically the loudest people on the left, liberals and those in government, do not believe that.
Yeah, but I
obviously.
guess my question is when they argue, right? This infighting you see.
Yeah.
When the person who's not all the way left, they say, "Look, I agree with trans. Like,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
be transgender. I just don't agree that kids should transition."
Right.
What does that other person say to them? No, they should for this reason, and I respect your opinion. Or like, because the whole argument against the right is you're not far enough to our side, and that makes you a bad person.
Yeah.
But it seems silly to me to draw this artificial line of like,
I think
of
yeah.
like, well, to be
I think-
good enough to be with
I
us
think most
is this,
people. I
and
think
then
most people on the left would say exactly that about specifically about surgery under 18. I think they would say like, "Hey,
but
I
it
disagree."
exists,
I think yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's lots of it.
So if nobody supports it, how did it?
No, people support it.
Right, but you're saying the entire right doesn't,
Yeah.
and most of the left doesn't, which would leave what
Right.
5% of the country, and you're saying that 5% of the country
Yeah, specifically
got
younger
it,
people.
got it
Specifically younger
legalized,
people,
and they do it.
People who
Like,
can't.
that's confusing. right?
Because well, this is the thing, and this is the thing about this is actually very relevant
gonna let you
to your
finish it.
entire
I'll
point
let you
here.
finish. Go ahead.
Is because politicians, specifically Democrats, because
'Cause they
Donald
suck.
Trump changed a lot of things, play the game in terms of politics.
Of lying.
So if they can because they really did
lie.
legalize it. It really is a legal thing that you
Oh,
could
but
do.
they lie.
That they're not lying. They'll put it even if it's not like. Let me put it this way: people on the left are not going to be if they have an elected official who's doing things that they want for the most part, right? Who's trying to get rid of college debt, right? Something completely, totally unrelated, right? They're trying to clear college debt, and they're like, well, as part of this, I'm this person doing this, I'm also fighting to get transgender children to be allowed to get surgery. You're not going to disagree with that. You don't so vehemently disagree with that one, even if you don't think so, that you're willing to not bring that politician who's going to do the thing that you want in, right? Because obviously it's not an all or nothing thing. And that's why the left makes a lot of concessions, specifically liberals make a lot of concessions to people who then, and honestly leftists make a lot of concessions two people who are going to do. That's
I don't know,
why
but I
Joe
just
Biden
disagree
got
with
elected.
you're saying it's like not mainstream. It's this niche thing, and like politicians take advantage of it.
That might
But
be a bad example in
but
terms
I
of
feel-
mainstream, but
I know fine, but I feel pretty confident in saying
Yeah.
that if Biden or Kamala were ever asked if they support transgender surgery for people under 18, maybe they won't say 100% yes. Actually, you could probably find it. I bet he did or she did. But they certainly wouldn't say, no, that's wrong. And to me, that means then, fine, if you're saying, well, we have crazies, just like the right has crazies, but then it seems like your crazies run the show.
That's another question.
Right?
I have.
Like if they'll literally
Okay.
ask
Up.
Biden,
Yeah.
who's the
They're taking my
president,
podcast
and he
away
won't
from me.
say,
What?
no, I don't
They're taking
support
my
that.
podcast
I
away.
disagree,
You don't
and
need
I'll,
a
and I'll
podcast.
disagree.
You asked us.
I'll disagree.
But
on
you guys
the,
are on one topic. I
on the
want it
simple
broader.
point of
Finish your statement, and I'm
Okay.
moving on.
I'll disagree on the simple point of there has never been a Democratic president who specifically came after taking away gun rights, despite the fact that there have been cries from the left, not necessarily
Joe
leftist, but
Biden and his
Gun
thing
rights
said,
are
"All right,
great.
take your guns away.
Guns are great.
Hey,
Here's
they,
another
they've never
question.
run on that. They've
Going-
never run on
Going
trying to
back
get
on
rid
my
of
original
guns.
statement, here's another question I have. All right. We all know Trump is in like all this turmoil because he wants to evict all the illegals, right? We all know that every president has done it, and Obama did millions. That doesn't get thrown out. No one talks about that. Why? How come all that shit is allowed? How come everybody can say Trump is horrible, he wants to get rid of, but every other president, it's a giant
Well,
memento.
the
want the
left will
truth-
tell you.
you
What
want the
they'll
truth
say
that's
is
gonna
that
get me yelled
Obama
at?
did it in a nice way.
It's
You
the
want,
way-
you want
it's
the
the way
truth
he
that's
did
going to
it.
get me yelled at by these people?
The way he
What
did it.
people? These people?
Obama
people.
deported a lot of people who were criminals.
Right.
Trump has on record. There's a list. You could look it up.
They're
It's
illegal. They're
verifiable by
criminals.
multiple sources. Has attempted to or has actually deported American citizens without due process.
Which
That's
one?
what that's-
Which American citizen?
That's 100% wrong.
Which American
I'll-
citizen
I'll
got
look-
deported?
I'll
Fine,
look up
find
the
one.
list.
You find me one.
I'll look up
you
the
find
list.
me
Yeah,
one.
I'll look up
There's
the
a
list.
list.
Yeah.
And why are you
Multiple.
looking it up?
American citizens?
Yeah.
And why are you looking it up?
Well, green card holders or American
No,
citizens?
American, like babies that were born in America.
Babies.
Okay. So the parents are staying and they're just booting the kids out, or are the parents getting deported
And
and,
they're
they get
taking
a
their
choice?
son to
They,
family with
so
them.
so what happened in
okay,
at least
that's a
one
dumb
case,
that's a
what
really
happened in at least
stupid
one
argument
case
you're
is they
making.
deported one parent with the kids. Meanwhile, the other parent, the father, lived in
And the
America.
mom said, "I want the baby to stay," and they're like, "Nope, they're coming
Yeah.
with you."
and they wouldn't
And what
tell
did
the
dad
father.
say?
They wouldn't tell the father where they were being.
Where
held,
was
the dad?
where-
Could I see
Where
that
was he
case?
to begin
was
with?
the
I'll tell
dad?
you right now.
Was
yeah.
he out of
find that
work?
case.
I'll look it up.
I have a feeling that's not exactly what
How
they
it
told you,
happened.
Matt. I mean, I
know.
think like a little bit. So you even just said in your statement about it, you're like, "Yeah, well, babies."
And why are you
Like
looking
they're
it
clearly
up?
not deporting the babies by themselves.
While you're looking it up, another question I have to piggyback on that. I know, again, it might be my algorithm, whatever that word is, in my TikTok. But I noticed a lot more, like, obvious celebrities, because they all seem to be Democrats, all bitching and putting their 2 cents in it. It really pisses me off. They shouldn't have it. One artist that I really respected, think she's a phenomenal singer, one of the greatest voices, in my opinion, Pink. Great. But she's, like, said some bullshit stuff lately, especially about Charlie Kirk and all that shit. I don't understand. Why don't they just stay in their lane and stay the fuck out
Because they
of
don't
all
need
that
to.
stuff?
Well,
They don't need to.
multiple.
They don't
There's
need
a lot
to.
of
There's no
reasons
reason
for
for
I
it.
hate
Yeah.
celebrities,
They
but
don't need to
Yeah,
stay in
there's
their
no
lane.
reason.
No,
for
but
them.
stay in their lane of what they do. Why they get involved in politics
because
and
I
trying
they
to
can,
make,
'cause
what
they
I
have a
think it is,
voice.
I think
it's annoying.
I think most
but
celebrities,
they do it dirty.
I think most celebrities, like most people, they have one particular talent, right? Maybe
Right.
it's music, maybe it's acting, whatever, like
Right.
the general celebrity things. And those aren't things that you have to be smart to do.
Of course.
But people
Like
think
us. We're great
But
musicians.
everybody thinks celebrities
They're
are
overvalued,
intelligent.
right?
They're overvalued. They're just
100%.
So, and I think they start to believe it because they're not intelligent. Like they're lukewarm, smart people.
They're just
like,
people.
I doubt Pink is a genius. She
No.
definitely thinks she is.
No. She's
She's
a
got to go.
phenomenal
I
singer.
got to
That's
fix
it.
politics because I understand it.
But I don't see
But
any
she doesn't
Republicans.
understand it any
I don't see
better.
Republicans doing that. Again,
The
is
reason
it,
they
is
can't
it,
do that is because that's not cool to do.
Right.
They would get ousted.
Right. But there's all these, like,
When
Hillary
a
Burton.
Republican speaks out, you just don't hear it as much anyway.
That's
it's
what I'm
just not
saying.
getting amplified. You know,
If
Is
it
that
gets
what it
amplified,
is?
it's because they're bad people.
Yeah.
It's saying, "Oh my God, we got a snake
what
in
did
the."
they say?
The
Right,
only
exactly.
one
in
I,
our midst.
The only one I hear about is the guy from California.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
No,
Exactly.
there's a couple of other guys.
There's
that
a couple.
Speak out, but you don't
John
hear
Voight.
it. It doesn't get
He's
amplified.
like a Trump guy.
Yeah.
It's like when
it gets shut down.
I mean, look at what they do with these talk
because
shows.
it's not
right?
mainstream.
The
Everything
three main
is
talk shows.
left.
right.
They went back and looked guests that they had in
The
their shows
View.
over the years. Not The View. I'm talking about the
That's
night
one of
ones,
them.
Jimmy.
Oh, well,
Jimmy
the night
Fallon,
ones. Yeah, they always
Jimmy
have.
Kimmel.
They always have
Yeah.
left-sided
It's
people.
all left people.
Yeah.
It's all left people. They don't get your voice, your Republican voice doesn't get heard on those shows.
Right.
Yeah. Well, their
That's all
argument
the
to you
major
would be
network night shows.
to be smart and affluent and worthy of being on the show means to be on the left.
Right.
That would be the general like idea.
Because
They're like,
they
no,
are-
of course a Republican wouldn't be on.
Because they
They're
are the
bad
more
people. Why would they be
intelligent,
here?
right?
Right.
They're hicks.
They're the
like-
college-educated people.
Right, you want me to
They're-
get a Republican on? I'm gonna go to a trailer park
exactly.
and like, you know what I mean? Try to wake a guy out of a drunken stupor. No, I'm gonna ask this
Somebody
smart,
smart.
this
Somebody
smart
smart to come on.
actor.
Right.
You know, so it's
Okay.
like there's that. I think.
Fair enough.
Who's
Did you
the,
find-
Matt-
Yeah,
Matt-
I sent you
Matt
three,
sent us
three
something.
articles for 3 different cases.
We don't have that much reading.
One of
time,
them was
Matt.
an adult.
Got 6 minutes left. Just kidding.
I believe the first one I sent is the one I was talking about where the father could not get a hold
I'm
of
gonna
him.
test our viewers. Phil, if you're listening, give me a call.
He's definitely not listening to this.
Well, not right now, but eventually.
You may get a call 6 o'clock, 5 or 4 o'clock in the
I'm
morning.
wondering. Oh, I should have made that call. Yeah, that's gonna be really bad because he's 7:01.
That's when he's getting going.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, I'm reading this. You guys got to
Sure.
keep talking. Do you have another question?
Well,
Or
read
did
it
we-
out
did we
loud.
not
Let's
sufficiently
hear
answer?
what happened.
I don't want to read the whole. I'll read when I get
Okay.
to the.
Oh,
You
you
keep
Like when I
reading.
get to the yeah.
You keep reading. All right. So, Michael, we'll talk more about the politics ourselves. Yeah. So, you want to?
Did you have a question?
No, you look like you were about to say something, so I paused for a second.
It's funny. Before I even got to like, I'm sure the smoking gun of this. He's been deported twice before. So are those like? Should we also
Yeah,
hang those other presidents?
No.
Right, but you're using this as evidence. I'm just
Wait,
saying he's been deported
he's a U.S.
twice.
citizen.
I'm not
but he's
saying.
been
Apparently,
deported.
I never said we should hang
I
Trump. He
think-
wants to know why there's more of an outrage for Trump than there was for
Yeah.
Obama.
Yeah, but this.
I'm
but
saying
one of the
this is
guys
what
you
it
said
is.
because he's deporting citizens, and the first
Yeah.
one that I come up with, he's been deported twice before
Under different presidents.
under different presidents.
I think we should have a tally chart of all the presidents, like when you're looking at TVs, all the columns, and you can compare. I think
Yeah,
all the presidents should
that
have
stuff is out there, but people make excuses
Right,
as to
but
why
it should be
happening,
be
right?
on like a main page, like USPresident.com or something.
You listen to
You know?
the Tom Holman guy, which he probably doesn't get to voice his opinion much again on like the regular networks or the more liberal shows, even on cable. He is on some of them. He's on CNN sometimes, but he probably doesn't get a lot of time.
Right.
But when he gives you the statistics about what they're doing, they're getting not only illegal people out of the country, but these are criminals they're taking out of the
Right.
country. And maybe, they said, sometimes in these sweeps that they do, they pick up people that aren't necessarily haven't committed a crime in the country, but they're here illegally. And
Right.
if they get
That's a
swept
crime.
up in that, then they get deported as well. And there's also like over 1 million people have self-deported at this point. Right?
Self-deported?
Yep, there's a self-deport.
Okay,
that
so
you can
this
do.
guy wasn't even deported. So if that makes you feel better,
He reads really fast.
Yeah.
I'd be on line
he
one.
was threatened deportation, and then he raised the case, and they said, "Yeah, we got it wrong," and then he
Okay,
was
so
not deported.
He wasn't deported. That's the first one?
That's the first one.
But wait, I thought you said he was deported twice before.
he was actually deported in '99,
Okay.
and then threatened again in '04. It says.
So how does this guy keep getting deported?
He's doing something.
It must be an actual mess up with his paper. It's this. I mean,
Well,
just
I
from
think
what
the
I'm
first
reading.
time, if I'm not wrong, he actually didn't have citizenship. I think, and then
I thought he's a U.S. citizen.
no, he
So he
this
became a
last one
citizen?
that I sent you, I believe he became. I
Now,
could
hold
be
on.
wrong.
Let's go one at a time.
I
So,
believe-
so the
Okay,
first
this
article,
one, this says this guy is absolutely an American citizen, born in the U.S.
Oh, okay, my
he was
mistake. Then
erroneously
that's my
deported in
mistake.
'99 under
Yeah,
Bill
yeah.
Clinton.
Okay.
Funny enough,
Yeah.
How old is this?
because
poor
and
guy?
apparently he was
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
because
So-
ICE
he was
identified
deported
him
because
as a
he
Mexican,
claimed to be a
Mexican
Mexican citizen without
Yeah,
any
yeah.
legal status. He was sent a deportation order, but then this individual has no active immigration case and is not a target of ICE.
All right, so debunked. That's
Okay,
the first
okay.
one. Let's look at the second one.
We should do a whole episode.
So that's the problem. Like, you don't know what to believe anymore, right?
You
'Cause
can, you just have to like.
No,
You gotta dig
You gotta
deep.
You got to
dig.
dig deep.
Yeah.
You gotta dig deep.
because
But there is a
it's like-
truth in these.
You got to dig
Yeah.
through and find out what the truth is.
Absolutely.
Which is fair.
Are you
I guess
guess not
that's
talking
fair.
about anything?
We're not.
Well, we
Well,
were.
I've been
No,
reading
we
it.
were, but then you
But then
started
you came in
reading.
with that
Oh,
other-
sorry, I
reading
just couldn't.
wrong.
I was.
We can't
So you
talk
want
while
a
you
second?
read.
No, that's
just-
fair.
That's just gibberish.
I don't know where I was.
We were talking about something.
You had the initial question. Was it properly answered while I go through this?
Which
The one about the one that we're talking about now. About you said other people have deported. Like
Yeah.
Like okay, I'll one more thing on this, and then you guys can take
Yeah,
off
go
from
for
here. to Matt's point about that Obama, and this you'll hear this a lot because Republicans will bring up the numbers. They're like, Obama deported way more people.
Right.
And I've done the math. It's impossible that they all got due process.
No, of course not.
It's impossible.
There's no way.
By the math of hours in the day, not like
Yeah.
not like some fugazi whatever.
Millions of
it's
people.
impossible.
Well, keep in mind it stops. It would when they. I think that those deportation numbers for everybody. This isn't just an Obama thing. For everybody, are fudged a little bit.
Up or down?
Up, way up.
Why would they do that?
So
he wanted to deport. He wanted to look like he deported more people.
He wanted to look
Right,
like
but that's
definitely
evil
because that was
now.
his whole thing.
But
when
that's
he came
evil
in.
now.
It doesn't
Even
matter.
wanting
Only
to
if you don't have due process.
They-
wanting,
the excuse-
but they didn't. But they didn't.
They did 10,
they
but they
didn't.
said a million.
What they
So
say-
you think what
I
happened?
want to
is-
see it.
So Matt, you're saying Obama used due process and only deported illegals, but he did it the right way, and they all got due process. And the timing issue that I noticed of that each court case would have to last 15 minutes every single day, all day, every day for 8 years to be possible, which seems probably not true, right?
Right.
You're saying the only reason that's the case is because he actually only deported 1 million, all totally legally
I think
and
anytime-
fun. But he's like, I want to deport 5. Put that on.
I
the
think
books.
anytime
that's an argument.
I think anytime that you're seeing any president and they're saying that they deported millions of people, it's not true.
Yeah, that's not true.
I think it's not.
What they said
Okay,
about
so-
what they
I
said
think-
about
So they just
Obama,
they
Mike.
pumped
What they
the
said
numbers
about
up.
Obama.
Yeah, maybe they
is
count
that-
people they blocked off from the border. You know what I mean? Like they could have
What
just
they
thrown
said,
in anything
what
to
they
make
said
the
about
number
Obama
work.
is that they would come into the country, they'd get held in a detention center, and they'd get deported.
And
And that
then-
was their due
right.
process.
I've looked that up.
They
Wrong.
didn't have to go through the courts. They just
Wrong.
sent them back.
Right.
And they
It was
counted
just
that
when they came
as
to
a
the border, and I think they
deportation.
do that for everybody.
So-
and I think that it's a stupid.
But what's the argument then, like against Trump? 3 cases, one so far was debunked.
This one already. I mean,
You know,
I'm going to jump to the end
mistakes are
because I
happening,
know
but they're
exactly
getting
what
corrected.
happened. Okay, I'll just read the first part. A federal judge is raising alarms that the Trump administration deported a 2-year-old U.S. citizen to Honduras with no meaningful process. I mean, how is he going to stand for himself, right? He's 2. Right?
Yeah.
Even as the child's father was frantically petitioning the courts to keep her in the country. Oh, no.
Right.
Where is this kid? Second paragraph.
Audiobooks right there.
Second paragraph. Go.
Identified in court papers by the initials because it's a child, right?
Hmm.
Appeared to have been released in Honduras. A 2-year-old released in Honduras. Can you believe this? Along with their Honduran-born mother and sister.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But
weird.
why couldn't the father keep? The
It's
kid
so
in
weird.
the country.
It's almost like the mother probably said, "I want
Yeah.
the baby to come with me," and
Well,
ICE is like,
I don't know.
"Whatever."
I mean, I don't know.
Right, but Matt,
I don't
you're
know the
saying that
situation
this,
of the mother and
but
father.
But Matt, regardless, you're saying this is an ironclad. They deported a U.S. citizen, and you have no questions about the fact that the mother and sister got deported. You're like, no, the dad should be able to keep him.
I
Why does the mother have no
Yeah,
rights?
the dad should definitely be able to keep them. If
Right,
that's,
so the mother has no rights, or you assume she didn't want the kid.
I'm pretty sure that she said. You keep reading. I'm pretty sure that she said that she was. She tried to remain adamant about not signing anything.
Of course.
But what was the mother and father situation? They're living together.
They live together in America.
Married, not married.
That I don't know. I didn't look
Custody
in-
was
I
there
didn't look-
custody
I
of
didn't
the
look in that
child?
far.
You know,
But I believe that
Michael's
they
got
live
more.
together.
We're just sending
No,
Yeah.
it's just this is like a funny framing, right? Trump administration officials said in court that the mother told ICE officials that she wished to take her kid with her to Honduras.
Yeah.
They even included a
she-
handwritten note in Spanish that
and
they
she
claimed was
says-
written by her.
Yeah.
But this is all in court, so let's just arrest those people for perjury, right?
Only if you prove it's not true.
Well, it should be easy. You
And
should be
the
able to,
second one is debunked. Move on.
A
There's one more.
handwritten note. That's
I mean,
easy.
if you
Trump probably
if
did
you're hanging
that.
your hat on Trump is doing this wrong because of 3 cases that are clearly, then
If
Well, that's just deportation.
here's what happened.
That's not
Here's
even
the whole
talking
thing
about
with Trump.
detaining people.
Nobody
who are,
ever
are
thought he was going to
citizens.
become president the first time,
Right.
and they hated on him.
Right.
And when he became president, they
hate
hated
more.
on him so much that now they don't know what to do to turn back.
Right.
They cannot do anything that makes it look like he gets a win. He ran the country for 4 years and he didn't run to the
Yeah,
ground
I'll-
and take
I'll
COVID
actually-
out
I'll
of
do
it
you one better.
because no one would have managed COVID correctly in the beginning.
I'll do you one better. I don't know what this dad's got going on, but the petition to keep the kid was filed under the name of Trish Mack, who the lawyers indicated had been asked by the child's father, to act as the child's custodian and take her home from ICE custody. Weird, he couldn't be there to do that.
Mike,
Right?
move on. Third case, please.
Well, I want Matt. Do you think this is you would say this is evidence of Trump deporting a U.S. citizen.
Did an American citizen get moved to a country that is not the United
Okay,
States?
you see how stupid that is,
That's
though,
a
right?
that's a ridiculous
That's
argument.
literally
So-
the definition of deporting U.S. citizens.
That's a ridiculous argument.
Okay,
there
right.
is
So we
no
should have kept
method
the
by
2-year-old and
which-
tell the mom,
when-
no, it's our kid now.
When the father lives in the United States, yes.
Right. So
There is
non-citizens
no-
have
let-
no
father
rights.
was- if the
guys,
father
all right,
was
guys.
signing
Let-
the
Matt,
kids
this
over
is
to
really
somebody
dumb.
else.
This
Let
is
me put
really
it this
dumb,
way. Let me
dude.
put it this
That's
way.
ridiculous.
There is no legal process by which you can deport a United States citizen. Agree or disagree?
Certainly, there certainly
There,
is.
no,
If-
because that was illegal. There is
This is not
no
illegal.
process. Look it up. There is no process
The-
by which you can legally
So you
deport a
should
United
separate
States
families.
citizen.
Then,
Separate
Matt.
families.
So yes, fine. We kind of did this already. So you're just
We did.
pro separating families. Cool, done.
If
That's fine.
If the
no,
father
Matt, you're actually not, you're not
lives-
just pro separating families. You think it has to
Has
be
to be
done.
that
if the
right.
father
It has to be
lives
done.
in the
No,
United
no, Matt. That's not what
The
you
mother-
said.
the mother
That's
has
not what
no
you
choice
said. They don't
to
have
take
both
that baby
parents.
with her.
Both parents could be born in Honduras. If an American citizen's born here,
Guys.
there is no legal way to deport them. Yes
Guys,
or no?
I know
Yes or no?
only what the
Both parents.
if both parents. There,
But
no,
there's
there
no
is
legal way,
There is no
so
legal
those
way
are our
to
kids
deport
now.
them. There is no legal way. To
All
deport
right, so
them.
you're
That is
just
correct.
pro family separation.
Guys,
Then
I'm
fine.
not. I
Family
didn't.
separation.
Then fine.
Send the
Fine.
parents
Take that
back,
argument
let's
somewhere
the
else.
baby.
Fine.
Let's
That's your
straighten-
argument.
Let's
That's
straighten
cool.
one
All
thing.
right,
Let's
case
straighten one
three.
thing out. I am not arguing on what I think the best policy is. I'm arguing on what the law is.
Right, and the law is we should separate families.
That's
I'm cool
what the
with
law
that.
says.
Right,
That's
and
what
that's
the
your
law
only
says.
argument, and I'm cool with that. I'd say separate more of them.
All right, but that is breaking the law.
Yeah,
Third
dude, but you
case.
get how you
Yeah,
get, okay.
it's-
So
he's not gonna-
breaking
he's
the
not gonna
law.
drop the argument.
So
He's
breaking the law is bad, and we should just keep
You
the
should have
people
taken
here
this
away.
is-
You
that
should
baby.
have
That
Guys,
baby
you
should
should
have been
have
taken away
guys,
from
you
the
should have
mother.
ripped the baby out of the
Guys,
mother's hands and said, "This is
this-
U.S. citizen. He's staying
Staying
here."
Put up
here.
for adoption.
Baby's staying here.
That's what you
gotta
believe
go.
should have happened. That's cool.
This
Adoption.
Johnny's question was, why do people look at Obama's deportations differently than Trump?
I
This
wonder
is
what
the
Obama would have done in
reason.
this situation.
I don't
You think he
know.
certainly would have separated the family
Guys,
as is right?
I don't
correct?
know. I can only tell you what the reasoning
So
is.
You're making a non-argument and then
this
trying to
is
hide
the
behind the fact that
So
there's a
of
legal thing.
Obama's 5 million
He
deportations,
asked a question.
He never
I
sent
gave
a
an
US
answer
citizen
to a
back?
question.
A baby U.S.
that's-
citizen
Yeah,
back?
Matt,
As
but your
far-
answer
as
is
far as
clearly
what I have heard-
flying in the
Of course,
face
as
of what
far
is
as you have
reasonable.
heard, nobody's going to say anything
Like,
against
it- okay,
Obama.
Sure,
Matt, I'm
but
saying
I'm not
it's-
making an argument in defense of this. I'm answering a
You're- Matt,
question.
okay, Matt, this is-
It
this
is
is-
illegal. That is why Trump got the attention and Obama didn't. Did I not
So
answer
Obama
Johnny's question
definitely
or
never
not?
did.
Never
I
did
don't
this.
know, but that's not the perception.
Mike, go on
Okay.
to the
Guys,
third one, please.
I don't know what you want
Matt,
from me.
because
I'm
the
answering
article,
the question.
The article that you're bringing up to
Yeah.
say why Trump gets so much blame. Why is this?
Right.
It's because he did an illegal act, and the illegal act he did was not separate a
And
family.
you can make
but you
that-
got to realize that that's asinine.
That's fine.
That's asinine. In his
yes,
first
absolutely.
presidency, the whole beef was about him separating families.
Absolutely.
And that was bad.
Absolutely.
And now
we
he
gotta
doesn't,
keep
and
together.
that's bad.
Guys,
you got to
guys,
realize the stupidity of that argument.
Absolutely, sure.
But it's your argument,
But
so you're
my-
just
it's
actively
not-
making a
I don't
stupid
understand.
argument.
The
I feel
argument
bad.
that I am making
You should
is
feel
an
bad.
explanation as to which
Fucking
Obama
lighthearted.
didn't get the attention that Trump gets for deportations.
But
It's
Matt,
not-
what you
but
have
it's
to
an
do, you have,
explanation.
no, it's
Unless
not.
you
What you
went
have to do
through
is self-reflect
all of-
a little bit and realize that they just didn't care what Obama did.
Exactly.
because
That-
he was a nice guy.
That might be,
That's the
that
truth.
might
That's
be
the truth.
true.
And
You're
that's
saying
as well.
you're saying that the truth is that
I'm
Trump
giving-
did illegal things and
Guys,
Obama didn't.
I'm-
And what we're trying to explain to you is
guys.
that the truth is that you were just not supposed to ask questions about Obama.
About
That
Obama.
might be
That's
true.
it.
That might be
That is
true.
true.
All right,
I
so
feel like we're proving
That
it.
might
That's
be
my
true,
point.
but it's
That
a lot
argument's
harder
not gonna change.
to value.
The reason,
to,
and that's the whole reason why these one or
verify
two or
that.
three articles come out, because they have to find every single thing on Trump that they can to say he's an evil person, he's stupid, he's this and he's that. He did not run the country into the ground the first time. He's not running it into the ground the second time. Nobody talks
He's a
about egg
fascist.
prices anymore. Nobody talks about the stock market anymore.
He's a
breaking all
fascist.
kinds of records. And yes, the economy's not coming back.
but
as
we
quick as
closed-
we'd like
but
it
we
to,
closed
but
the
it was a
government.
disaster.
But he closed the government because of
The
him.
government is shut down because of Trump.
Because of Trump.
Everything that he does.
Not
is
only
wrong.
they
This
say
person's
because
not
of-
even a citizen. This is just like a sob story about the kid having cancer. But to your point, legally, he must deport this kid, right? Isn't that what you
I'm
do?
pretty sure that kid was a citizen, dude.
No, he's not, bro. No, he's not.
He's not.
You didn't read any of these.
I'll tell you right now.
So anyway, we got a reason.
I'm reading the
If
thing.
you just look at us here, this is the reason why politics, or this is why the reason the country is the way it is,
Yes.
because people are being force-fed information that is incorrect.
That's what I'm saying. It's all lies.
It's all lies.
It's all bullshit
if
lies,
we got
smoke
back to
and mirrors.
honesty, and we say this all the time, if the media interview was honest, these 1 or 2 or 3 stories.
The media
these stories should not be buried, but they were
No.
buried under Obama. They were probably stories buried under Biden because those people are nice people. They're good people.
Yeah.
Liberals and lefties are good people, and righties are not.
Right.
And that's the problem with the country right now.
The media has to stop bullshitting, and also the politicians have to stop being legal. The fact that Schumer gets up there and says we're closing it down, we don't want to do it, but we're doing it because of this and that. When reality, he's trying to pass things that no one knows about.
Matt, you're right.
And
that 4-year-old is a
I
U.S.
was gonna say,
citizen.
what are you looking at?
Deported with their mother who wanted them. And
Right.
it says those children are U.S. citizens. They can come back into the United States
Anytime
whenever they want.
That's true, which is fair.
Right.
So they weren't
So you want to
deported.
separate
They were
families.
sent
All right,
to another
fine.
country with their mother.
Man, my point is that
Because-
you're
Yeah.
saying the difference. You said that the difference between Obama and Trump is the illegality. And what we're saying
Yeah.
is that's stupid.
Okay.
That's kind of it.
That's fair.
You know what I
That's
mean?
I have no problem with that.
Right, but do you get how your argument can't be that the difference is the legality when we're pointing out issues of that's not true?
Okay.
Obama certainly
so-
did not all have due process. Because nobody talked about it, that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Okay. That's fine. If you want to give the explanation as the simple fact is that people are not talking about did not talk about Obama's deportations, that's fine. That's totally fair. I'm saying if Jonnie he says that he was sifting through news, he finds it hard to find things. The reason that they're giving on the news for why Obama isn't being didn't get the same treatment that Trump did is because of the illegality of what Trump is doing. If you want to say that Obama's doing the same thing,
So we
just
did hit pay dirt.
undercover,
It's just about lying. They just lie.
They lie.
sure,
They lie.
yeah, that's
So
fine.
they lie.
If you want to say it's a
They
lie,
lie.
that's
Obama
fine.
was protected.
And they-
Everything he did
Sure.
was
They-
good.
yeah.
Trump's
And they
bad. Everything he does is
They
bad. That's
amplify these stories to make it look like everything he's doing is bad, and that's just wrong. It's wrong for the country. It's the biggest thing that separates us.
But all our Democrats out there are going to say that the Republicans lie.
Well, it does all fund. I was thinking about this earlier today. All this political, back and forth. It all comes down to truth at the end of the day, and not in like a high-minded way about like what's the real way to do things.
Right.
It's like it's the difference between not like propaganda, but for this, right? The left goes on and on and on about calling Trump a fascist and calling pretty much all his supporters Nazis and all this, right? And then Charlie Kirk gets shot, and everybody goes, "You should stop saying that." And the left goes, "We can't stop saying that. They're Nazis."
Right.
And it's like the facts. Like if somebody is a Nazi, and you call them that, I think everybody would agree. You're not using rhetoric that's like you're not threatening them with the rhetoric, right? Like if Hitler was resurrected, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's Hitler," it's Hitler.
Right.
But when you go Trump's Hitler, and it's like, what has he done that's like Hitler? Like are there dead people anywhere? Right? Like, are deportations just Hitler-esque? Like any country that deports somebody, they should be taken out?
Right.
Like, is that the argument? And it never is. But the truth of it has to matter. But like nobody cares about it anymore. But people are more willing to just say, no, I believe the truth is that Trump is Hitler.
Right.
Because they'll never have any self-reflection because it has just become a good guys, bad guys back and forth argument.
It has.
Which is stupid across the board. I just think, and this is obviously, I know I've said this, it's not like a bias thing. Obviously, as conservative, I think I'm conservative because I already believe the things. I don't believe the things because I'm conservative. Does that make sense?
Not good.
And part of that is like the divide where I think the left has gone way overboard on that. I don't think they'll ever be able to like pull it back. I just don't imagine that the next president they're going to go, oh, let's actually listen to this guy. Maybe it's J.D. Vance. Maybe it's whoever. They're always going to be going, we got to know, what are the odds? Another Nazi running for president.
Right.
He's also trying to take control of this and that, and the courts now are null and void. And yeah, we know that Trump was like had to deal with lawsuits, but those were all legal and right because he's a bad guy and he did those bad things. But Comey, who perjured himself in front of Congress, that's just political. That they're trying lawfare.
Right.
That's fake, and it's like, well, he lied. We have evidence that he lied. Like there's proof that he lied. Well, no, but that's fine. You shouldn't go after him. He's a political guy.
Right.
So it's like if you're that dumb, or you're not dumb, if you're that willing to not have a value, like not have a belief about anything, and just go like I think that's why we're fundamentally done as a country.
Yeah.
I think it started with the education, and I think people are so wrapped up in this like I'm a good guy, that they'll do anything. That means they will literally, I mean, think about like the Charlie Kirk situation. They'll support, and I know this isn't like the mainstream left, but like a lot of people will literally support an assassination because they think they're the good guy.
Right.
Like to have that
Mindset.
belief at all is crazy.
It's horrible.
Like I would believe in certain people getting assassinated, but I would always say that's not a good thing. But
No.
certain evil has to be, right? Like if it was Hitler, right? The classic like kill him as a baby. Most people would say, no, it's not right to, that doesn't make it right to kill a baby.
Right.
But it's Hitler. But with Charlie Kirk, they're like, well, he might as well have been Hitler. It's like you're clearly missing a massive, massive escalation in what
Yeah.
that means.
Right.
And when you lose sight of that, there's just no rolling it back.
Yep. Agreed.
But I don't know. We'll see. I think it's
not a
interesting
good
with
situation.
all these cops going into the cities. I feel like that's funny to me.
Why?
Because like the left's like, no, they're taking
They're gonna-
over.
yeah,
this
I
is
know.
martial law.
I know.
But I imagine if you're in those cities, probably
happy.
pretty nice.
You're probably
so I
pretty
wonder. I
happy.
feel like it's gonna cause a weird dynamic of like the mainstream media go, no, don't go there. That's another like beautiful, thriving city. But the people in the street, like I feel like and they're you know, being that it's like so far it's only been DC and what Portland. He hasn't done Chicago, right? Or was he
No.
gonna
Going
do?
into
I thought he did.
Memphis.
Is he going
He's
to
going
Chicago?
to
I thought he
Memphis
did
now, I
Chicago
think, too.
already.
In Chicago,
Did he do Chicago?
Yeah, but
he's in. They're
they're
in
not
Portland
sending,
now.
They're not sending troops.
No,
National
National Guard.
Guards.
No,
but
I don't think
but
they're actually sending
National
troops. They're not trying to kill
They can't
people or
do
anything.
anything. The National Guard, like
Yeah.
they can't do arrests or anything.
Yeah, I know.
What are they
They're just-
doing?
Well, they're
In
just
case something
backing
happens.
up, like the ICE, the federal agents, they can back them up on those things.
Okay.
But they can't do anything at the local.
I have no
level.
problem with that.
No, I don't either. It's just like
in DC,
politically,
they were able to
politically,
do
they're like,
stuff.
this is it. This is martial law, authoritarian again, and it's like they're not.
It's
You're not
so
under
silly.
curfew.
It's
Yeah.
so silly.
They're just
that
stopping
They're
the
extra
criminals.
cops.
that
They're just
saying
doing the criminals.
That
Yeah.
they're willing to go out there and say the crime is not bad when you got people dying every single
Right.
day in Chicago, definitely on the weekends, and they're just willing to say, no, we don't need any help. Everything's okay. We got this under control.
Well, that
the
mayor,
numbers are coming down, but the numbers are
that
ridiculous
governor
to
and
begin
mayor
with.
sucks.
Yeah.
And then they take you on a walk, in one of the safest places with
Yeah.
bodyguards around. And I'm
Well, there's
sure
100
these
cops that have
everywhere.
walked the
Oh, look
streets
how safe
before
it
you
is
got
here.
there.
But they don't put them into the neighborhoods where the shit's going on. Look at Philadelphia. There's shootings there all the time now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Philly's
Same
bad.
shit. Philly's bad. Philly's bad. And they'll support. They'll say we don't need help. Like why?
They'll say it's all getting better.
Because they don't
Because-
want help from him.
Because they don't want him. Right.
Right.
It's all about him. It's all about
Yeah.
him. They got everything he does has to be wrong.
Yeah.
He should
Whether it
use
is or
me as
not.
the face.
I guess. I mean, but it doesn't matter. It would be anybody. If Trump tomorrow was like, like too much of the heat is like on me personally, I'm gonna take a step back and like you'll hear from me every couple weeks. It wouldn't be his style, but even
I
if he
just
did
don't
this,
think anybody
they would
could-
still fight everything the administration does
Just
tooth and nail.
nobody's
Doesn't
ever going to
matter.
do it the
Right.
way he did it.
Right.
Like this guy had the ability. He has the ability to do whatever he wants. He's got the money to back himself up when he's getting sued. He's got all this stuff.
Mm-hmm. He
There was
doesn't
a
give a
very
shit.
funny clip of him yesterday. If you didn't see it, when Bobby Kennedy sneezed behind him. Did you see that?
No.
Look it up. It's hilarious.
Okay.
I will.
Do it
Because they
after
were
the
talking
podcast.
about the health stuff.
Oh, and then he
the price
sneezed.
reduction and stuff, and he sneezed, and he goes and turns to one of the guys. I think it was like the Pfizer chairman. He's like, "You got Paxlovid? You got Paxlovid, right? Give me a Paxlovid right away."
Nice.
You got to watch the clip. He's hilarious.
You have
And
any
which
last
pisses
questions,
people
Johnny?
off because he's really
No.
funny.
Yeah.
He's
I
very
just-
natural. He's not stressed out about any of this stuff. He just goes about his business. And
He just goes
never should we ever again elect lawyers and doctors
No.
into the government.
They're
It should
too-
be businesmen.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah,
the
I agree.
businessmen know
I
how to
always
run
say it should be
things.
businessmen.
They know how to make decisions. He's not scared to make decisions. He doesn't worry about what's going to happen with the decision, right? I mean, he
I
puts
agree.
thought into them, I think. I know a lot of people will disagree with that, but you need people that are willing to make hard decisions, and that's not what these guys do. These guys, our politicians have become messed up.
They suck.
Yeah.
No, that's it. I mean, again, I just hate politics. I think left, right, middle,
Left, right, center.
conservative, liberals.
I think you
they
also
all
picked,
suck.
you picked a historically bad time to get involved.
No, I did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I did.
You should
Nobody picked
just
this
phone
time
it
to be
in at
involved
this
with
point.
politics.
It's just
It
politics are
came
a thing
upon us
now.
because-
Yeah, that's true.
because it is.
Because of
Yeah.
all this stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it is. Because of Trump,
Right.
really.
Yeah.
He
Just
made
phone it
politics
in.
mainstream.
Just give-
Yeah,
just
I
give
agree.
it.
That's what happened. That's
yeah.
why people are more involved than they were.
Yeah.
But thank you for
I
talking
do
to
think,
me.
last thing,
Yeah.
hot take. I don't know. It's not a hot take. A lot of people feel like this. I totally think Obama took the country back just on race relations. Like, I don't even
Oh.
care. I don't even care about bombing Syrians.
Years ago.
Whole nother episode.
Actually,
He was
real
the
quick,
original
we'll talk
separator.
about this. He 100%.
Totally.
But
Yes.
Matt, do you know that Obama, without due process, bombed a U.S. citizen?
Yeah.
So,
Great.
like,
That's
He's
okay.
criticized-
what would you call
He's
that?
criticized for that all the time.
When?
Yeah,
Is he?
definitely.
He got
Definitely.
a
It's one of the
Nobel
things
Peace
I
he's-
haven't
But he
heard-
got a Nobel Peace
Oh,
Prize.
no, at the time I understand,
Right.
but it's
I
one of the
see-
things he's most famous for.
I see things all the time
Yeah,
about Obama.
I don't
There was
know,
no
man. I feel like
controversy.
he goes on
controversies.
everything, and they welcome him as
That-
as a savior. He could go.
People
on the
say he's the
View, and
greatest president
But I
ever.
mean, he killed a U.S. citizen.
People say he's
He
the greatest
killed
president.
a U.S.
ever.
citizen.
No, I know.
Without due process.
Yeah.
Right. But like, I know
But I
that
think-
I know
I
that
think
you're
that's-
saying he does get flack for that.
That he
but
does. He gets a lot of flack for
But
it.
you do see the difference in the relationship that is like generally carried between
Of course,
the left.
Of course,
Right.
I've literally said that from the beginning. The
Okay, so
media
then-
since
okay, so then forget about
2016
deportation. What
has
would you
been
argue with that?
extremely about Trump. They
No,
don't
ju-
like him.
But like,
That's what it is. They made headlines out of the TV star becoming the president.
okay, so you do think that they lie and they get people to believe the lie, and
Of
that's it.
course.
Okay, so it's
Okay.
weird because you started the whole thing by saying because he
I'm
did
giving the
illegal
reason
things.
that
Matt, you're missing it again.
Listen,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
could do
You're
a,
saying,
Obama's our
it's
next
because he
episode.
did an
we could do
illegal
a-
thing.
We could do a whole
and then you're
episode
right now
on
saying
Obama.
it's because they're telling people he's doing illegal things.
correct. Yeah.
Those are
I don't-
different
Those
things.
two things can be true. I don't understand.
Two things can be true at
Yeah,
once.
but Obama, I just said Obama also did an illegal thing.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it can't be that the difference is that Trump does
cut
illegal
with
things.
that?
and
Oh,
Obama
I
doesn't do
understand
illegal
what
things.
you mean. No. When
It's
I
that
gave
the
that
media
again, I think
tells them
this
that
is
they
where
do.
it got confused. This is why I kept saying I'm not making an argument. I'm
Friends
not
and family.
saying one thing
family
or
and
another.
friends.
We're gonna have to leave
He
this here.
he
John-
asked the question. I
Listen.
gave the answer to
What'd
the
he say?
question, not based on what I personally believe, based on that's what's being said. He said he has a hard time getting to the truth. I said, this is what they're telling you. They're saying that Trump is doing things illegally that Obama didn't.
Okay.
If you want to say that that's because the media puts more Trump under more of a microscope, I agree.
Okay.
I think that's true.
Tune in the future to hear about the Obama.
We're being lied to. Thanks for
Podcast.
listening, everybody, and as always.
Stay angry, annoyed, and amused.